Hello everybody, sorry I haven't seen you for a few days. I'm not actually quite sure why, because I haven't been that busy in the salon. You know, I have a beauty salon. But Marco's been doing a few things, I think, and he does it without me holding the camera sometimes. What I'm going to make today is something very, very simple, but an awful lot of you don't know how to make it. It's Spanish omelette. Now, I've actually been making Spanish omelette for an awful long time, because when we did film and TV location catering, I had a lovely Spanish lady called Esther Gondadores who used to work for me, and every now and then the crew used to request Spanish omelette, and it always amazed me how she did it, because it's absolutely full of oil. You actually drain the oil out of it. So when you cook it in the end, it's not got so much. And then I tried to make it thinking I don't need this amount of oil, but it doesn't work. So I'm going to show you how to make it, because you live here in Tenerife, but I bet you don't know how to make it. I bet you go and have it as a tapas, but you don't know how to do it. So we start off with not cooked potatoes, uncooked, very thin sliced. And I'm just going to show you how thin. Just a wafer thin slice like that. Now, in a pan over there, I have quite a considerable amount of oil, and I'll go over there and show you what we do. And here I have 6 eggs. So it's for a medium-sized omelette. Not the massively, massively thick ones. That would need a lot more ingredients, and I actually haven't got them. Okay, so can we go over there, Mark?
So we're talking about the Spanish tortilla, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you said omelette.
Well, in the English people call
Yeah, it's okay.
it omelettes.
All right, it's a Spanish tortilla.
Tortilla.
There you go.
Tortilla off you.
Wow.
Right, so I have a medium-sized pan here. I hope it's a very non-stick one, because if it isn't, it won't work. You have got to have non-stick frying pans. In here, this is 1 onion in an awful lot of oil. Can you see? A lot of oil.
Yay.
And it's frying so that it doesn't brown. I'm now going to add the sliced potato into this, and I'll probably have to put more oil. I'm going to put it up to number 6. There. Yeah, definitely got to add more oil. I'll leave those ones out, it's too many. I'll have those as chips later, Marco.
Yep.
More oil. I needed that bigger pan, you naughty. Told him I wanted to borrow the hidden pan up there, because the hidden pan up there is really good, and it's not. I'm not allowed it because I mess it up. Is that right?
Yep.
I'm a bad pan person. So I'm using a non-stick spatula, and I've put that up higher. Now this is going to have to cook and be turned constantly for probably over half an hour until the potatoes are soft. Now this should be more or less floating in oil, and it is. So we will come back to this when these potatoes are cooked. In all the time that this is cooking, you must not let it burn anywhere. Okay, right, we're back here. I'm just going to point out that this is a Spanish tortilla from Galicia. Galicia is a completely different area, and when I first came to the Canary Islands, I was in Gran Canaria, and I worked with a Spanish girl in the kitchen. Do you know, over there they used to make all of their Spanish tortillas as they came in, as they were ordered, with half-cooked chips, so that the chips were soft but not browned. And then they went into the tortilla with a little bit of onion if people wanted it, and they were served immediately. This is how I learnt it from a Galician person, and made them like this for 20 years. So you can make up your own mind whether you want to do it with some half-fried potatoes and a bit of fried onion and add the egg and make it like that, or whether you want to do it like me. Okay, now these are all soft now, and I'll tell you, it actually took 15 minutes, not half an hour. And can you see that they're starting to a little bit brown, and there's loads of oil. What I'm going to do now is put these through a sieve there and drain off the oil. Just need my spatula from over here. See, it has stuck a little tiny bit. Now, in the bottom of the pan now, there is oil. And that is all the oil you need for the tortilla. Okay, I'm going to put that pan back over here. These are drained and drained and drained and drained. Can you see how much oil comes off? We're not using that. I have seasoned these lightly, and I have seasoned the 6 eggs, because there's nothing worse than a Spanish tortilla that has no salt and pepper in it. So that's quite well drained. It goes into the clean bowl. There, sorry about the noise. Into the clean bowl. And that, you can use that oil again because it's only had the potatoes in. And then the egg mixture goes into there. The salt and pepper bits of the egg mixture have stayed on the bottom, so let's scrape them in there. So there we have our mixture, which is potato, cooked potato, onion and egg. Now you can see from that, if you had leftover potato and you wanted to put it into a Spanish omelette, you could. But, and I'm going to say this once and once only, it doesn't quite taste the same. There's something about doing it this way that works. So I'm now going to go over, Marco, to the we have the little bit of oil that's left in the bottom of the pan, and it's on number 5. We don't want it on high because again this has to cook slowly. We pour the egg and the potato mixture in, flatten it out. This is why you can actually put a lot more potato in than that. I couldn't fit it in my pan because you could do it right up to the top so that it's a really deep one. But I'm just doing this one for you. And you can see that the potato didn't seem to fit into the pan, but now it's cooked down even with the egg. There's plenty of room. Now this I am going to cook quite slowly. I think I'll put it up to number 6. I don't want it to burn on the bottom, and I want it to cook very slowly, and then I'm going to show you how I turn it over. And that's the dodgy bit. Might turn the camera off while I do it. Okay.
It will work.
I don't know.
Yes.
My hand's not strong enough.
Okay, I'll do it.
Can you do it, Marco?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you see how it's still soft on the top and still runny? And I think it's not stuck. But I'm going to tell you now, I put this too high. So the top will be, or when it turns over, it'll be quite brown. And it's too brown. I should have kept it on number 3 or 4 and done it slower. I'm going to do it now. Now you've got to have a strong hand. Go over like that. Right, now can you see? It's browned, it isn't burnt. It isn't burnt. Now when I put it back in, I'm going to put the tiniest little bit of oil in the bottom. Just a tiny little bit, squish it round. And then what you do then is very, very carefully slide it back in. Slide. But you have to do this carefully because it can fall apart. And you've got to get all the right bits in there. There we are.
Well done.
There we are.
So that's a challenge for you guys.
Yeah. While you're cooking it, this has got to go on again to cook slowly, to cook that through. Just keep pulling it away from the sides, pulling it away from the sides. And when you can get your spatula underneath and it lifts, and when you can shake it and it moves, you know that you can then turn it. Let's put this back on the heat now. Well, I won't show you that. I'll show you the finished result. This is the finished result. Now you can see I haven't browned it an awful lot on the other side because it was too brown on that underside. And it is cooked through because you don't want to be feeling any soft eggy bits. You want it cooked through. I'm just going to cut into it just to show you a piece which I will eat, not today, tomorrow at lunchtime. Can you see that it's compact with the potato and the onion, and it's nowhere near as oily because all of that oil has been drained off. So that is a Spanish omelette, tortilla, and it's going to taste lovely.